So what you see here is a recliner handle seat track that is attached here. Here. This is the end of the seat belt. These clips, I want to be careful because they are spring loaded, and if it were to pop for some reason and actually begin to work, my finger would be gone. Anyway, these are jammed up. Look at there, I've got company. I ordered another one offline. Of course it is used and it's gray, but thankfully the exterior pops off so that I can put it back in the proper color housing or exterior. As you see, the seat belt is attached in there, and it is gray in color, and I need the black. So I will remove the exterior from this. The guts will then look like this. I will install it here, and then I will take the black casing and put it back on, and hopefully my seat will pop down where it belongs. And I'm going to do some more cleaning on there before I actually install the seat the rest of the way, because I don't have a socket wrench with the proper size attachment. So it's going to be a slower process, but nonetheless it will get completed and I will be happy. Be right back. You know, it's never really a bad idea to take pictures or short videos of exactly how things go back together. Sometimes you start taking things apart and laying parts here, laying parts there, and not quite sure how to, you know, reinstall things. But I was noticing as I was loosening this bolt that there is that small little hook. Boy, this thing's nasty. There's a small little hook that goes right in there that's part of the seat belt. You can see it here on the seat belt that I've left attached. That's got to be cleaned as well. But I will know where that little hook is supposed to line up simply by documenting beforehand. So just a little tidbit I thought I'd throw in there for y'all. Alright, see you in a minute. Alright, easy peasy. Okay, so I've brought my before and after tracks into the garage so that I can properly clean them. I don't want residue in the vehicle, so I brought them out to clean them. But I wanted to add that when using a cleaner, it's okay to get the dust and the hair, but anytime you see this type of stuff here, that is lubricants. We call it grease, you can call it whatever you want, but it is there for a purpose. So make sure when you're cleaning that you do not get rid of something that is essential for the operation of the actual part. There again, I'm going to swap out this one. This is on the new piece. This is on the old one, and it is in much better shape. So I'm going to make sure I clean this post, and I'm going to just change out that spring. But I'm going to get them cleaned up. Back in a few. Okay, so I was able to swap the springs, wipe down the housing or the outside portion of this part, and I'm ready to go install it. Okay, before you reinstall, you want to make sure that you've got your seat belt attached back properly, and then you can feed it through there through the seat. But you're going to want that seat belt in place already because it's going to be on the underside of this part. Also, make sure that you save your spring to attach it back here. Well, if you're like me and you decided to do this without an extra pair of hands, I want you to see where this spring is hung through here, and it just kind of helps hold on to it for you so that you can begin to feed the seat belt through here. Okay, so you don't need 15 people helping you. I mean, my knees are here, and if it falls, it'll fall on my knees, but if you only have two hands, you use what you have and you try to use your brain, but I'm using that right now for a brace. So what I will do now, these holes through here will line up with that hole. And this is your screw that goes back through, or bolt, I should say bolt. So it'll go through there. All I have to do is lift this up, line it up, and start the screwing of the bolt into the proper place once I get the alignment. Now, do not shower down on it and over tighten it, because you do have both sides that you have to do. So just get it in there on each side, get it started, and then you can check to make sure that everything is level and in the right place before you tighten it down all the way. Okay, so I did feed the seat belt through the opening, so the clasp of the seat belt is in the actual seat. Now, before I put the casing on this, I am going to pull the seat down and make sure that I can grasp this seat belt and pull it on through into its proper place. Okay, so that is done. I just leaned the seat toward me and reached through there. Let's see, it's kind of hard to hold the phone and do it, but I think you all get the idea. The hole is here where my fingers are going. The buckle was just shy of where my fingers are hitting, and I just pushed it on through and pulled from the top, and that is secure. So now that I know I have that in place, I can put this seat back up and see if we can close this up and see if I can get my seat to work now. There is a clasp on the back side of this casing. There is a clip that is attached to the casing. I have secured one side of the casings. Still need a better wipe down with this. But I want to show you. You can see the seat belt running through there. You want to make sure that this plastic casing to the left of where the seat belt comes in is clearing the seat belt. So make sure you watch for that. And it has popped up on the underside, so I know it is clear. All I should do is pop the top side on, and it should clip into these clips that are here. You do want to make sure that these clasps are on the outer side of the initial part itself, so that your top piece, or the adjacent piece, I should say, maybe, will line up with these and not break off. You don't want these plastic pieces to break. This hole and this hole, if I'm not mistaken, will line up with these. They're probably going to fall out on me. Okay, now they do come out. I can pop them in. I choose to leave them attached for as long as I can and put them in that way, because I don't want to strip them or break them trying to pull them out. Just make sure you don't press down extremely hard while installing this piece until you know you're lined up perfectly. You do not want to break off those clasps. Okay, let's see what we get. Take note of these smaller holes there, the third, and the fourth. They will attach to that very small piece to the right of the leg. This is where your leg will be, this piece. Working over to the left, you'll have this piece here, and this piece here. Do make sure you line those very small yet relatively deep anchors for these clamps. Line those up. You don't want to break those off. Those are going to secure your plastic piece. Before you add on your top piece or the adjacent plastic covering, you want to make sure that you have your strap ran through this hole on the outside, because if you put your strap down in there and you close it all up, for one, it's not going to fit properly, and it will also not function properly. So do make sure that you have that. You know, when you're pulling your seat belt through up here in this hole, make sure that you have this strap pulled through this opening. There are small pieces of hardware that will go over the bolts, and all you have to do is line the hole right there. There's a hole just beyond my finger there. Line it up with this hook, one on the bottom that lines up with this hook. Now I'm going to need two hands to do this, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I have all of the plastic pieces put back in place, and let's see if this booger bear will work. It is 20 years old, so you do have to be extremely careful and cautious. There are, let me turn this around. There are pieces that are fragile and they sit very close to the plastic, so you don't necessarily want to be slamming your seat down in place. All right, I will take this down and let's see what we get. Be right back. Another thing I want to add, with your carabiner that is attached, there is a pocket right in this area where you will want to take that carabiner and you want to tuck it away as neatly and as far down as possible, because you want to avoid anything being hung up in your seat. If it's hanging and popping and flopping, it's liable to crack some plastic or even impede the seat from working properly. So you want to make sure that you have that carabiner tucked away. Just like that. That carabiner is down in that pocket and it is tucked away. Okay, this is a backside angle from under the seat. You can see my fingers through the middle section. I'm pulling, pushing and pulling and pushing and pulling, and they are in place. Yay! So there you have it, my friends. Got her done. She's done.